So this talk is called UFO Ether Physics Rho Sigma. So this video has been updated with more information, but getting back to what I was saying in the original for a moment. The ether concept, you spell ether various ways, has been unfairly discarded from mainstream physics as dealt with in previous videos. Now, of course, the ether physics is involved with UFOs. If you've got UFOs as alien craft, well, what kind of physics are they operating by? So this book, Ether Technology, with a copyright of 1977, was written by somebody using the alias of Rho Sigma, and it says here it's a classic book on anti-gravity and free energy, and of course it's connected with the alien craft propulsion systems. Forward in the book is by this person, Edgar Mitchell, who is an Apollo astronaut. So that makes the book stand out more than other books which are similar to it. So what's said is, in the quantum field or ether field, so the quantum field seems to be a type of ether, and that's in quantum physics. Energy all around us. Energy can theoretically be drawn from a unified field of magnetism, electricity and gravity to propel a spacecraft through space. Rho Sigma, the youngest member of von Braun's World War II German team of rocket researchers, explains how the technology already exists to control gravity and takes us through the world of ether vortex turbines, and it's Townsend Brown, seal disks, electric wind and so forth. So one problem is, if thinking in terms of relativity, then that's what's usually said in those terms is there's no ether. But if you're talking in terms of quantum physics, then you have a quantum field, and that can be interpreted as another name for a type of ether. So it's differences between relativity and quantum physics. People who are too into relativity will maybe deny the ether, while the people in quantum physics who are more into that will be talking about things like quantum field, which is really just another type of ether. So picking up on the bit that said about Rho Sigma, he says he's the youngest member of von Braun's World War II German team of rocket researchers. And this is von Braun. He lived from 1912 to 1977. He was a German-American aerospace engineer and space architect. He was the leading figure in the development of rocket technology in Nazi Germany and a pioneer of rocket and space technology in the United States, such as for the Apollo. And what happened was, after World War II, the Americans set up what they called Operation Paperclip, where they tried to take as many of the scientists from Germany over to America to work on their projects. So the new information is from this book called Breakthrough Power. In this book it says that Dr. Schafranker was Rho Sigma, and he had to use the pseudonym because when he was working for NASA he had problems publishing. So, however, despite this person being thought of as Rho Sigma from the book, there are some issues. And this is what this website says about Rolf Schafranker. He says he was born in 1921 and died in 1994. So I want you to note that in 1945 he would be 24 years old. So this information comes from Wikipedia. It points out this person, Friedward Winterberg, and he was brought to the United States as part of Operation Paperclip, and he was 15 at the end of the war. And it says Paperclip continued to recruit German scientists through the Cold War to prevent them from working for the Soviets. So to note from that, Winterberg was 15 in 1945, while Schafranker was 24 in 1945. So Winterberg was really younger. Thus there's something a bit dubious in the claim that Schafranker was the youngest of the group of German scientists, including von Braun. Either Winterberg was accidentally missed out, or for some reason wasn't counted. Possibly Winterberg didn't count as a scientist, although there are examples of young geniuses being recognised at some early age and getting promoted through the education system quickly. And this is what Wikipedia says about Operation Paperclip. It was a secret United States intelligence program in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers and technicians were taken from former Nazi Germany to the US for government employment after the end of World War II. And Wikipedia gives a list of German aerospace engineers in the United States from that, and Winterberg is in that list. So this is the start of the list, various names here. Winterberg's not on it, and neither is Schafranker. As the list continues, you can see that Winterberg is on it, but there's still no Schafranker on it. So the question becomes, was Winterberg being counted as among von Braun's rocket scientist? And at 15 years old in 1945, that would have made him probably the youngest, but also probably not working with von Braun in World War II on the rockets. While Dr. Shafranka is not on that list. Something does not quite add up. If a longer list was provided, then maybe Shafranka would be on it, question mark. So this is what Wikipedia says about Winterberg. His research in the 21st century has been on the Planck ether hypothesis, a theory that claims to explain both quantum mechanics and the theory of relativity as asymptotic low energy approximations, and gives a spectrum of particles greatly resembling the Standard Model. So Winterberg believed in the ether, which can be spelt two different ways, either as ETHER or as AETHER, same as Shafranka. This is the book by Winterberg on the Planck ether hypothesis. And this is what the book says. The Planck ether, discovered by Max Planck in 1911 as the zero-point vacuum energy, is here assumed to consist of a densely packed assembly of positive and negative Planck mass particles. So it's a version of an ether theory. So if we go back to Einstein, in 1905, Einstein seems to have discarded the ether with his paper, which is called On the Electrodynamics of Moving Bodies. And later, Einstein seems to have come back to the idea of there being an ether in 1920. Mainstream physics community seems stuck with Einstein 1905 and don't want to go with the update, so mostly deny the ether. Now if we look at what's happening over in Germany in the 1920s and 1930s, there were a lot of people, scientists and so forth, who were criticising Einstein's relativity. And this is one of the books on it. Einstein's relativity was presumably being looked upon as abandoning the ether, and a lot of the criticism was the ether should be brought back. So Shafranka and Winterberg seem to be of that tradition of bring back the ether, and that was maybe what most of the German scientists and engineers and so forth were believing in World War II when they were working for the Nazis. And then after that they went over to America under Project Paperclip, and they were still believing in the ether. The connection of these scientists, engineers from Germany with what happened in World War II acts to a large extent making it something that mainstream wants to avoid talking about, i.e. has made the subject taboo. And all that acts as enabling the mainstream to just keep sweeping certain things under the carpet, namely about the ether. It can just carry on ignoring the ether. And that's the finish of my video with its updates. Thank you.